Hey everybody, Crystal here, stepping out from behind the camera to do a quick socially distanced introduction of Cold Spring Farm. I want to thank Lauren and Lenny for taking the time to show us around the farm stand and tell us a little bit about their operation, and I hope you all enjoy the conversation that we had with them.
In 1985, I purchased Cold Spring Farm. In 1986, I began a little sideline venture, working full-time off the farm, growing vegetables. Grew 1 acre of mixed pumpkins and sweet corn, sold it on a wagon on the front lawn. And from there, it has just grown over time. I worked full-time off the farm, so it was a part-time enterprise, and started with 1 acre, 2 acres, 3 acres. We purchased the property here adjacent to our home property in the early 90s, and then put up a small pavilion. We began to retail a little more from this location. In 2006, Lauren and I married, and Lauren's background in retail farming, you can tell them about your background.
I worked, when I was younger, I worked in several farm markets for years, and then I left and pursued a career outside of farming. And when Lenny and I met, it just kind of brought us all back around in a full circle. So we started the farm stand. It was just a pavilion at the time. And we started growing it from there. We've added greenhouses. When Lenny retired, it's his retirement gift.
I retired in 2012, and we've then concentrated full-time on the farm since then. And
so it wasn't until last year that we put up the building, and it has been, a tremendous boost to our sales. It's just made everything look more professional, cleaner, and we've had a huge response to that. So we did wait. It's hard to say. We waited. We didn't want to go into debt to do this because it was, a second career opportunity. But then once you do it, then you say, well, why did we wait so long? But, for what we market here through the store, it's pretty much everything we grow, and every year we add on a few little things. We have our staples, which of course are corn and tomatoes, melons, pumpkins, but we supplement with a lot of smaller things, just, odd things. We try some things. Sometimes we only grow things for a year or two and change it up. The specialty peppers, we change them every year, which ones we grow, and people seem to like that. They like to try new things. We try and grow different varieties, golden zucchini on top of regular zucchini, purple cauliflower with white cauliflower. There's some people who just want the traditional, but there's a lot of people who like trying something different, something new. We don't throw them out, so some people are buying them. We don't grow a lot, but it's fun.
so the construction of the farm stand really changed this retail enterprise from a roadside stand, very seasonal, to now a full farm store, we consider it. We can lock the doors at night, turn the heat on in the winter. And then we've been able to add additional items besides the things we grow that we feel the customers will like.
Yeah, so it looks like you've got fruit in addition now. You've got these co-packed items, which are really cool, and dairy and honey, it looks like, are the other things. There's probably some I'm missing.
Yeah. We've always bought local fruit. It's the only fruit we grow is strawberries in June, and the melons. But the peaches are huge, apples in the fall. So we do supplement with as local as possible that we can get. We added on the jar goods, and we weren't sure how that was going to go over, but a month later we're placing our second order. We've already sold out on that pretty much. So we're learning. We're learning what people want. It's been fun. We've only had the milk for I think 3 weeks now. That's been really popular.
Looking to add cheese, and of course we've had honey and syrup for years.
Yeah.
Other local products. We'd like to maybe at some point have meat. So as a farm store, not only have our own products, our own homegrown products, but other locally grown products. Now more than ever, people are looking for that. So as part-time farmers, we were limited by the amount of time that we could spend working on the farm while we were still working full time. So we grew the farm slowly over time, and the farm basically pays for itself. We didn't have to live on the farm income, so we took farm income and reinvested it back into the farm in terms of purchasing equipment, land, things like that. So in 2011, in preparation for my retirement in 2012, we decided to get in the retail greenhouse business, and we constructed our first greenhouse up behind our home, and we grew the plants there, and we had our open pavilion farm stand down here. Bring the plants down here, put up a little bit of a pop tent type of thing, and sold them under the tent, which didn't work very well. The weather in May, as you know, doesn't cooperate. So in 2014, we realized we need to do something better. So we constructed another greenhouse. It's the one that the farm stand we're standing in. And that's our retail sales now. So we also grow in there, but everything we sell out of this greenhouse adjacent to the farm stand. And that works really, really well.
And since we've done that, business has exploded on the flower end. You know, people love the flowers. We sold out every year. Year before last, we put up our third greenhouse.
So
Last year, we filled that and we sold out again. On that, there's definitely a lot of growth potential in the flower market in this area, which we enjoy doing. So we plan to keep going on building that as well.
And new this year, we have a Facebook page that a friend helps with. We don't have time to even go on Facebook or the desire, but we find that helpful. We have a new product, we'll post that. We had the dairy line, we posted that. She posted on our behalf. And people do follow that. They come out, say, oh, I hear you have milk, or I hear you have high-value tomatoes, whatever the case may be. So that's helpful. We didn't want to do it for years, and still don't want to do it, but since somebody's doing it on our behalf, it is a good marketing channel. It certainly is. So this site, when we purchased it back in the early 90s, was an abandoned pasture. There were overgrown apple trees and maple trees and just a bunch of junk here. So rented the bulldozer, leveled a small spot for the pavilion, and that worked well when we had the pavilion. But the land around the pavilion dropped off very steeply. So some recent building projects over the years enabled us to get some free fill. So we brought in truckloads and truckloads of fill, and we're able to expand the site to fit what we have here now. We'd like to have a little bigger building, but this is limited by the site. Zoning is an issue when you go to put up a building. Our temporary farm stand, we were granted a variance because this is a residential district here. We were granted a variance, though it's ag, it was a residential district in the zoning map on the roadway. So we put the farm stand under ag district law, we could do that. So they granted some variance to do that. When it came to put the farm stand, we had to go through zoning again, get building permits. There were some issues related to whether they would allow us because of the zoning and under some of the ag district protection. We convinced them that it was a good thing for them to allow us to do, which they did. It forced us though to follow setback requirements, all of those type of things. So the building is where it is because of the site, because of the setback requirements. So we built the building that we could based on the site. Had the site been bigger, there's things we would have liked to do that I think that other people should do. And that is have a separate delivery area, prep room area. We've incorporated that within the farm stand because we didn't want to lose the view out the back of the windows to the nice scenery. And it keeps us in touch with the customers being inside the building, but we lose retail space otherwise. And we couldn't add on anymore because the slope kind of built to such constraints. The other thing that we need to do, and everybody should do, is have a cooler at the farm stand, a big walk-in cooler. Because at the end of the day now, we have taken our produce, put it in our truck, anything that's left over, we fill in the refrigerator on hot nights, and bring it up to the big walk-in up on the package shed.
Just to wrap up, if you could tell us the impact of the farm stand, any last thoughts that you have about it, that'd be great.
The farm stand has changed the face of our whole business. Lenny was doing a lot of wholesale through the farm, and that involves a lot of deliveries. That takes up a lot of his time. We're definitely transitioning to primarily retail now. It's just the two of us running the farm. As far as, you know, the kids, they're not really all that interested. So keeping it manageable is important to us. So time is always the issue. So doing the retail, keeping things closer to home is definitely our goal.